So today we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on episode 59 of the series. The series is going to move very quickly now. In the last episode, we saw a multitude of things happen. We saw a big civil war happen over here in, this East Asian area, and I guess these two countries got independence. We saw a civil war in the Gold Country, which resulted in two new countries forming. They, although, are pretty weak. We saw a new economic alliance go ahead and form up over here in the Central European area, really, just to kind of make stability to the region and unite Europeans as a whole. Maybe not in a certain country, but I mean, who knows? We also saw this orange country kind of get divided up. But anyways, if you guys enjoy these videos, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. 900 before the end of the month. I think it's gonna happen. We're already at like 850 something, so anyways, let's go ahead and start this video. Let's go ahead and start it over here with the nuclear weapon updates. We do this at the start of every video, and at this point, nuclear weapons are like they're going rapid. Like some of these countries are about to double. So let's go ahead and start over here in the Arizona Union. Then we'll go from 5. What is that? Then we'll go from 5 to 13. They are doing pretty well, actually. They have a slower nuclear program than some other countries, however, they are gaining pretty rapidly. Next up is the Bolivian Empire slash whatever, and these are some very interesting things. We see like light blue or whatever. I don't even know where that comes from. Also, for some reason that looks yellow, but I don't know why I'm doing this. They go from 2 to 7. They have 7 nuclear weapons as of episode 59, which is in the year 2008. So that's pretty cool. And well, these guys are gaining rapidly, and we might even see some countries join their alliance, but let's go ahead and take a look at some more nuclear expansion updates. Such as in the Southern French Union, as they will go from 27 to 36, they gain a lot of land, or a lot of nuclear weapons, and they're going pretty fast. But anyways, let's go to the kind of area where everything's about to kind of explode. So Egypt goes from 14 to 31 nuclear weapons. These guys are gaining rapidly. The Arabian Union goes from 31 to 62 nuclear weapons. That is literally like a 30 plus gain or whatever. 31 plus gain, and that's just a huge amount. And yeah, nuclear weapons are doubling and doubling as we speak. Anyways, let's go to the North Indian Federation, who will go from 42 and 11 to 71 and 16. And let's take a look at where they'll put their other nukes. So these guys will go from 2 to 4, giving them 2 more nuclear weapons that are just from the North Indian Federation. And these guys will go from 3 to 6, arming them with 3 more nuclear weapons. And these countries are really gaining fastly. And let's go to the next country, and the last country for today, which will be China. China will go from 16 29, they are also gaining very rapidly, and who knows, maybe they can use them against this country right here. And well, let's count up all of the nukes. It's about 249 nuclear weapons in the world, pretty much doubling from the last episode, which had around 130. That didn't double, but you know what I mean. That's just a lot. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the more events for today's video. And this will be not an eventful video, but it'll be probably a pivoting video. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but let's go ahead and start today's video off with an invasion, which is over here in Indonesia. The orange country is invading the green country over a kind of naval dispute. Basically, a ship got blown up. The orange team blamed the green team for it, however, it might have actually been another country. Or who knows, maybe it was actually another country. But it doesn't really matter as these guys are invading. Now, who's probably more military advanced? Probably the green team. They have well, actually, I don't know who's more populated. They both have 2 major cities. And this one was, captured, so, yeah. And then they went ahead and are starting to move into this capital. And why is my computer so slow right now? And they start to move in from the southern region, and well, this country is no more as their capital's captured, and they are fully annexed. Well, I just kind of leaked what's gonna happen. They're fully taken, and then they're fully annexed into the kind of the new orange country. It's not a new country, but yeah, this country is pretty goodly populated. It's not as populated as Java in real life, or no, I'm pretty sure it's Java or Blues. I don't even. I think it's Jakarta? I don't know. I have no clue. But anyways, this country is back together as one, and maybe they will start to, well, maybe they will do some invasions, who knows. Anyways, let's go ahead and go to over to a region of the world which is pretty heated recently, which is Central Asia. We're not gonna focus on this right now, however, we're gonna focus on this country. This country is like a union who took over another country in the past, but there's a slight problem, and this country is not very stable. It's getting very, very unstable. As we can see, if we turn on the stability map, it is an orange country, and that is not very rare for this region. The world is really unstable in this scenario, like really unstable. Majority of the countries in the world are orange, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. I was like, what? Because that was too much. I accidentally colored in everything for that, so. But anyways, it is really just in the eastern region that has a lot and a lot of well, people who do want to be a part of it, and that's this area. Now, this is like the fifth time this country has came back. It has died, come back, and died and come back, and it's now back, better than ever, more populated than ever, and more people who want to make this thing possible than ever. Now, if you look at the provinces map, it's like already taken over what it wants, but it doesn't care. It's going to take over even more as we see this just really, really nationalist new area starts to take a lot and a lot of land. The terrorists hit them up with an alliance offer in which they say, no for now, maybe in the future. And that is kind of not a good thing for the terrorists, as that might just be a way in saying we're no, not at all. But we will just have to see what happens in the next couple episodes with the terrorists, as I do have some things planned for them, and it's pretty major. But after this happens and the whole country is split in two, we see that this purple country is straight up going to surrender to its rebellion. Let's go ahead and take a look at this peace treaty. A lot of rebellions happen in Central Asia recently, probably just due to the mass kind of bad stuff happening in the area, like this, whatever's happening right here. Also, provinces of this green country look really bad. Like, what is this right here? What is that? Like, what is that? I don't know. In this picture, the red team, or just the kind of reddish pinkish country, will reform. What are these two pixels doing here? Anyways, the red country will reform, and it's probably bigger than ever. I know they are supposed to have some territory right here, but they also took a lot of territory over here. They didn't take the capital province, so that's, I guess, a good thing. That does not look like a very cool looking province. It looks pretty stupid. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at cities and their capital. If I can go on the right layer, their capital is gonna go ahead and be right here, so we can see that it's well, it's back better than ever. That looks pretty cool. Well, this country is looking pretty bad. Well, I guess now we can see some like normal colors looking up here. We got red, blue, orange. We got some normal looking colors except for like these different shades. Like these are like relatively good, correct, or like the right. I don't know, the correct thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at well, this war. And this is about to not get good. Not like it ever was good. However, the terrorists are continuing to push in. However, they are doing it with a little slower pace than usual. They do get kind of close to the capital, however, they are doing it with very slow pacing compared to before. And they lose out on some valuable land here, as the Chinese allies will go ahead and take it over. And there are minor skirmishes on this border, which do kill, or not kill, but injure a couple of people. China and their allies, of course, are not happy about this, and they will condemn the terrorist organization again, and they're now thinking about actually committing action against this. But we will just have to wait and see what happens until the end of today's episode. Coming over to Nigeria, they will start their invasion of this green country. This is a very weird event in Nigeria, or like the world was not thinking Nigeria would go on another kind of expansionist arc. They did just take over like a green country in the region, so maybe that was possible. However, they just didn't think that this would happen. I mean, however, it's happening, and they're getting close, and they capture the capital of the greenish country, I guess Niger. Although Niger is like more over here. This is kind of just North Nigeria, I guess, or like Chad, or North Cameroon. I don't really know. I guess this would be Chad. And then this is Sudan, Libya, Egypt. Yeah, I guess so. And well, when they split the country in two, this country is no longer anymore, and it will surrender into two. Well, both pieces will surrender, and in the peace treaty, they're actually fully annexed. This is a very interesting event. They did not think, and nobody really thought that they would be fully annexed because they are a pretty large country. But Nigeria has just taken them over and pretty much doubled in size. Probably didn't do much of population, considering this country barely had any major cities in it, probably around two. But still, it exists. And it's more land, more population, more resource, more everything for them. Kind of a W. Anyways, coming over to Bolivia, we see that their alliance will be expanding. They are the Heart Alliance right now, and they only have two more members. However, they will expand into a couple others, like the kind of Argentinian country right here, and outside their continent as they get the Yellow Atlantis country. This is a very weird pick, however, they volunteered to join, and they did join. This is a very weird country to join an alliance this far away, however, it does happen. And what is going on? And the Heart Alliance is actually getting some power. Of course, Bolivia is the sixth strongest country in the world, so obviously they are powerful. And Brasilia, and maybe even the Argentinians and the Guyans are relatively powerful. Same with the Yellow Atlantis, and with that, the alliance starts to grow a lot. In some countries that are even way more powerful, like even the Angolan Union, start to think about joining the Heart Alliance. Over here in the Parallelogram Alliance, though, they don't have they don't have that mindset. They just want to do their own continent, which is North America. This is a superior continent to them, and it's a disgrace that another country has land in North America, and that's why they really don't like the Heart Alliance. But the Heart Alliance doesn't care. Wait, let's go ahead and do our final event of today's video, which is back to the terrorists. The Chinese will start making more advances and doing them pretty good, as they actually do really great in this war. They're starting to reach the capital of the Green Country, pretty much just doing a full-on invasion of all of these territories, connectively, well, taking this capital, and, well, that is no more. And then they start to push around in the northern regions, which are a little bit more rural and way less populated. However, they do start to get to this area, and that is when the terrorists also take action and take the rest of the land. That is when a standoff happens, and it's not very good. The standoff lasts a lot of days, and what happened is not very good. At the end of it, guns do fire, and the Chinese alliance and the terrorists are now at war. Guess what the Chinese do? They launch 3 nukes into terrorist territory. One right here in the south, one right here where it started, and one right here in the north. These effectively kill off a lot of, well, it doesn't kill off a lot of population, but it does rapid effects, radiation, all that type of stuff. And this just shows the power of nukes to the whole world and how it might not be a good idea. So effectively starts the Chinese terrorist war. And that will do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video, which will be something about Pookie Mappers. That'll be one of Denmark from Pookie Mappers came back to the modern day. That'll be a pretty cool video anyways. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.